outside of the launch strategy, the very core first thing that you guys learn is called the 4 corners of success. All right. Where basically I want you guys to think of it as a diamond. Each corner is something that I'm going to be going into depth. Last time was posting. All right. On Monday's Q&A, Jasmine told you guys to go watch that. If you had not watched this one, it's totally fine if you haven't. All right. What I would encourage you to do after you watch this one is go check out the posting. The 4 corners of success means that they're all interconnected. Okay. They're all interconnected. You don't do one, they all fall apart, right? Right? We don't post. Nobody sees the way talking about the business, all right? If you don't find leads, nobody sees your posts, right? If you don't direct message, you don't make any sales. You don't do the 14 and the follow-up, well, that's your gold. That's how you close them, right? If you falter on either one of them, this is the core foundation of your business, is what it is. All right. Last time that we did Wealth Wednesday is I did posting, and now we are about to do the skills of finding leads. All right. The power of posting was how your content is not just something you put into the world. This is what we learned last time. It's your storefront, right? That handshake, your reputation in motion, if we must. So again, if you haven't watched the training, it's totally fine, but I do encourage you guys to go back to it. It's going to be added inside of your portals when Justin will be putting it in the playlist. But what we're going to be doing today only works if your house is already in order, right? If your posts are showing your story, your value, and your energy is clear, right? So today we are going to dive into the skills of actually getting people to see that storefront, to have that handshake, right? That training that we did on the post broke down why your profile matters, right? More than the algorithm ever will. We talked about how posting is leverage, right? Not luck. How your content tells people who you are before you ever talk to them. We went through the 4 types of posts: storytelling, emotional marketing, curiosity, and value. And I challenged you guys to create one of each. Who did it? All right? Drop me something in the chat right now. Drop a yes in the chat if you did the challenge and you posted one of the 4 posting formats that I gave you from the last Wealth Wednesday. I know some of you did, and the shift was probably immediate. April did it. You probably saw more engagement. You started getting messages, and people began to feel who you are instead of just seeing another product. Because when you post with purpose, you stop being noise and start being trusted, right? But here's the truth you're about to learn. You can't build connection if no one is seeing those posts. Gonna make it difficult, right? You can have the best message in the world, the clearest story, the strongest visuals, but if you're showing up to the same room every single day, talking to the same 10 people, your business is gonna go tick, tick, tick. I'm trying to do a heartbeat. Tick, tick, me, right? So that's where this next corner comes in. Today we're going to talk about the skills to finding leads, the art of creating consistent visibility, expanding that reach, and learning how to build traffic inside or instead of waiting for it. Because you don't run out of people to talk to, you just stop going where new people are. And when you master this, you'll never say, oh, the algorithm just hates me. Have you guys ever said that? And you be truthful right now? Drop me one in the chat, okay? Drop me one in the chat, all right? I'm shadow banned. The algorithm hates me, right? Okay? So when you master this, you'll know exactly how to make your own momentum. Okay, so let's talk about the word that makes everyone overthink. Leads. Leads. Pretty simple word, right? When most people hear it, though, they picture numbers, names on a spreadsheet, your CRM, messages sitting unread, a never-ending list of potentials, right? But that's not what a lead is, because I want to change your guys' mindset on this. A lead Hear me out on this one. Hear me out on this one. I just ate ribs, so I hope you guys can see it in my teeth. All right. A lead is a person. People. Okay? Not numbers. A human being. Can you guys hear me? Sorry, I forgot to turn my freaking thing on. Can you guys still hear me? My husband just called. He's gonna call again. I know he is. Hold on. See if we can text him through my watch. Can you guys still hear me? Okay, cool. Let me quickly text him. Okay. Everybody can sit here and wait for me to text my husband because he's one of those people. There it is. Okay. Hold on. Wait, this one. Hello? Hi. How do you talk to it? Okay. Whatever. We'll just do it. Okay. All right. Whatever. We'll just sit there and do it. I don't know how to do it through my watch because I got a new phone and everything's all updated. Okay. A human being with real dreams, real fears, and real life happening behind that profile picture that you guys see when you guys talk to them in a direct message. And the second you forget that, you lose the very thing that makes people want to work with you. Connection. Just dropped off. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Hold on. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay. Yeah, you can hear me, right? Okay, cool. Okay. All right. I'll start that line again, right? The second that you guys forget that they are not just a profile picture, you lose the very thing that makes people want to work with you. Connection. So people don't wake up and say, I hope somebody sells to me today. I'm going to go on social media and hopefully someone is going to pop up in my inbox and sell me something. All right. They wake up and say, gosh, I hope I can find something or find a way that can change my situation or change my life. Something. I can't keep going like this. And your job isn't to chase them down. It's to position yourself in a way that when they start searching, you're the one they find. That's the truth about leads. They're not random. They're not lucky breaks. You didn't crack the algorithm. They're the natural result of showing up every day with clarity, energy, and intention. Think about it this way. Your business is a living, breathing system, all right? Think of it as a whole entity. If posting is your storefront, then finding leads is the foot traffic, right? You can have the best products, the most beautiful store on the street, all right? Carlene's put thousands of dollars into the storefront. Real brick, big, huge bay windows, okay? The most aesthetic looking products sitting on the shelf. You walk in, it smells like cookies and Christmas and I don't know, okay? But if nobody's walking by Carlene's store, doesn't matter about any of that stuff, does it? Doesn't matter how perfect those shelves are. Doesn't matter that it smells like cookies and Christmas. Doesn't matter that she spent $500,000 on real brick imported from Milan. Okay? Traffic is what keeps your business alive. And traffic doesn't just happen, it's built. Here's where most people get it wrong. They think visibility is something they earn by accident. Oh, must have been the time that I posted. That was it. Right? I posted at such a better time. That was it. They wait for the algorithm to favor them or for the right person to magically find their post or for that reel to blow up. But leads aren't, it's having a really hard time sitting in this chair though, because I got massive ADHD. So that's just the way I like standing. So if I sit closer, I feel like my head is too big against the screen. So you guys are just going to have to endure it. This was Jesselyn's idea. Okay. Leads are born from rhythm, from habits, from showing up in spaces where your people already are. And here's the part that does change everything. You don't need thousands and thousands of people, the new followers, the giant number. You just need a handful of the right people every single week. This is why you'll always hear me say over and over again. And I was actually talking to, I think Andrew was on here. We were actually talking about it today. Okay. Follow trains. Follow trains are buying followers. One of the worst things that you can do for your business. And I don't know how many times I've said it in here, but it is one of the worst things that you can do for your business. Follow trains, buying followers, or getting those bot things to do it. Those followers are not engaged. That's the problem. They don't care about your content. Yes, like Brittany says, they're so bad for your business. They don't care about your content. That's the problem. They're not watching your videos. They're definitely not watching them all the way through, and they're not connecting to your story. And when someone scrolls past your post without even watching or engaging, it signals to the algorithm that your content isn't worth showing. Wah, wah, right? The algorithm thrives on watch time and engagement. People watching it all the way through, and the comments. People are commenting. Are they liking? Are they saving? Are they commenting? Are they sharing it? Right? That's engagement. That's what the algorithm is looking for. So if you're following still the people who actually don't care about what you share, your reach, it plummets. Your posts don't get pushed out. Your visibility disappears, right? People are just so hyper focused on the number on their profile that they forget where it truly matters, in the connection. Unless you're here because you want to be some massive influencer, then stop acting like one. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news. If this is your first time watching me, I don't sugarcoat shit, okay? Unless you're here to be an influencer, don't act like one. You're not here for clout. You're here to build a legitimate business. And if I'm going to be totally honest with you, I wouldn't want to be one. It's not sustainable. How long have you seen a lot of these influencers sit at the top? They eventually fall, don't you? There's some controversy, eventually fall to the bottom because they never did what it took to learn how to be up there, to have that longevity, right? You not see it. You will eventually see your top influencer fall into the distance or the shadows because they weren't building a business, a foundation. I wouldn't even want to be one. So ask yourselves. You want to be an influencer? You want to run a business, right? Because one of those focuses on attention, the other focuses on impact. Big difference. And when you choose impact, you realize you don't need 10,000 followers to change your life. You just need a few of the right ones every single week. People who care, connect, already move when you lead. Because one real relationship can change your whole business. And when you start treating every person you meet online as someone with potential, not just a prospect, everything will shift. Exactly, Chris. The world has enough of that going on. It truly, truly does. Nail on the head with that one. So let's talk about the biggest mistake that quietly kills more businesses than anything else. Not a lack of effort, not the algorithm, and it's not even rejection. It's waiting. Here, you guys hear Slade out there? He's playing on his VR headset. Waiting. I actually did a TikTok about this like yesterday. Most people post and pray, right? Click that post. Go viral, go viral, go viral, go viral. And then you open it up. Check. Did I get a comment? Check. Right? Kind of becomes addicted sometimes too, right? The post and pray. They're sitting on gold, creating amazing content, telling their story. But when they wait for people to come to them, that's one of the biggest mistakes you can make. They post, refresh, scroll, and say, why is nobody reaching out? They convince themselves they need to go viral. or that no one's seeing their stuff, or they just need the right timing. But the hard truth, you can't get discovered if you're hiding. Visibility is not a passive thing. It's not something that happens to you. It's something you create on purpose. And that's where most people miss it. They wait for their audience to grow, but they never go out and grow it. Slade. Okay, can you guys hear them? They wait for leads to show up, but they never show up for new people. Then when momentum slows, they panic, they scramble. The way that they go into what I call the DM frenzy mode. Hey? You guys know them? They're usually the hey girl people. You know, the ones where they message 50 people in like one night and then they disappear for 2 weeks to recover from all the awkwardness. You know what I'm talking about. Does that sound familiar to anybody? Yeah, me too. That cycle of inconsistency that keeps people stuck is what it is, right? Finding leads isn't a one-day sprint. It's not something you do when your sales drop or your engagement feels low. It's a daily rhythm. It's 15 intentional minutes that compounds into a business that never runs dry. One of the crazy thing is, you guys, and I want you guys to kind of think about this. Me and April had a really good conversation about this. The people that you are connecting with today aren't the people who become your affiliates today. They're the people a month from now, 2 months from now, 3 months from now. So who you don't talk to today, right, isn't, and like those aren't the people that are coming into LWA a month from now, right? It's that consistency habit. Growing connections actually boosts your algorithm as well, right? And that's one of the coolest part. Every time that you start a conversation, comment back, reply to a story, send that DM, you're training the algorithm to connect the two of you as friends. You guys ever notice when you open up Facebook, when the people that are at the very top, or the little story heads at the top, are all the people that like you have like a really like a close relationship with? You guys ever noticed that before? There's a reason for that, you guys. There's a reason for that, because you're talking to these people in a private message, right? These platforms are built to keep people on their platform. The algorithm's entire job is to figure out what content makes you stay longer. So when it sees two people engaging privately, it goes, oh, Josie, hey, she's been all over Jamie's stuff. She clearly wants to see more of Jamie's stuff. Let's put all her posts higher up in Josie's feed. That's why you'll notice that all the people that you talk to in a private message, right? Like if you're in a group chat or something, you'll notice it's going to be all those people. Close down your Facebook, open back up. It's all those people. Close down Instagram, open back up. It's all those people. It is, right? It's not a coincidence, right? That's the algorithm saying she's interested, show her more, right? So think about it. Every single connection you build isn't just a potential lead, it's an algorithm boost on top of that. It pushes your content further, increases your visibility, and strengthens the relationship all at once, right? I mean, last week we talked about some serious posting styles, and you work hard on them. Like, how many of you guys have sat there and poured your heart and soul telling your why or what this industry or business has done for you? You spend like you literally leave your heart on the digital screens. Do you not want people to see it? You put all that hard work into it. People should see it. They deserve to see it, right? So your effort multiplies every time you connect, right? It's not wasted energy. It's compounding exposure is what it's doing. If you can shift your mindset from, I need results now, I call that commission breath, by the way, to I'm building relationships every day, everything will change. Because when you stop chasing the spikes and start mastering the rhythm, you stop living in feast or famine. The people who grow the fastest, excuse me, aren't the loudest, except for me. They're the most consistent, you guys. I can't tell you how many times people have showed up in my inbox and they have said to me, every time I open up my FYP on TikTok, you're at the top. It must be a sign. It's not a sign. I'm consistent AF. I am like a machine, you guys. I'm a machine. Does the rhythm still kick? You need them. That's a really good question, Fiona. You need them to respond. It needs to be a back and forth conversation. So ask them questions. Okay? Ask them questions. They're more likely to respond, right? Okay? The ones who make connections part of their everyday routine, just like brushing their teeth or making their morning coffee, it's not about forcing conversations too. I want to get that perfectly clear. It's about being present enough to create them naturally, right? When you understand that, finding leads stops feeling like pressure. It starts feeling like power. It truly is. And you get better at it, all right? You truly do. It's like when you first show up for a job, right? Have you guys ever been like a waitress or like in retail and you had to serve like your first customer? Just awkward AF. Right? Most awkward AF. You know what you're doing. You're stumbling around, bumbling the water as you're going to the table. Okay? They ask you a question at your retail job. You're like, oh, super awkward. But you get better. Right? You learn how to do it. You become more natural at it. Okay? You're choosing to build momentum every single day by working through that awkwardness into a natural stage. Okay, so now that we've broken down what doesn't work, let's talk about what actually does, right? Because when I say find leads, I'm not talking about chasing strangers or copying and pasting 100 messages into your inbox. Please let's not. All right, please let's not do that. I'm talking about building a rhythm that keeps your business alive every single day through connection, curiosity, and consistency. There are 3 layers to it: active discovery, engagement expansion, and platform presence. Same again: active discovery, engagement expansion, and platform presence. Each one feeds the next. And when you work all 3 together, your audience stops being random and it starts being aligned. Number 1, active discovery, going where people are. Active discovery is the intentional part of your growth. It's where you go out and find new faces every day. Yes, right? Yes. And a lot of people are like, oh, I just want to grow organically. This is also organically growing, you guys. Conversation, I want to remind you guys, it's social media. Social media. Finding people and creating connections is a part of being social, right? And you're not waiting for them to land in your lap. Not hoping that reel goes viral, but actually going out and say, okay, who are the kind of people I want in my world? You can find them through hashtags. It's a great way of doing it. Hashtag Canadian moms. Hashtag type 1 diabetes. Comments. Shared communities. Or reels that align with your niche. Start where your people already hang out, right? I mean, if you're a crazy hot mess express Canadian non, TikTok's perfect for you. All right? Groups, autism, okay? And I'm not saying go post your business in there. That's not what this is, you guys. You're finding connections. Some of my biggest supporters on Facebook are from type 1 diabetic groups, still to this day. They're like my diehard, loyal, most loyal supporters, knowing that I'm doing this for my son because they know how expensive type 1 diabetes is. I post. I go put in there and I post his A1C. I go comment back on people's posts who are brand new to diabetes, who are scared, who just need a little bit of support. And I go now go DM them. I'm like, hey, I know what it's like being in that first year, that first like few weeks. It's scary. I'm here for you. I just added you as a friend. Shoot me a message anytime that you need. Connection. It was real, is what it was. And a lot of them do DM me and ask me questions. And that's what it's about. Right? When you follow or engage with somebody new, don't just tap a like, okay? You want to leave a thoughtful comment or like reply with something specifically that they said. Be a freaking human, man. Okay? Be a human. Because that's how you get noticed without doing some rotten, hey girl, hey guy pitch. Who wants to do that? It's not 2018 anymore, guys. Okay? You're not chasing them. You're creating recognition. Is what it is. And when they come to check out your page, your content, that storefront, that beautiful imported brick Milan from Milan that Carlene built, right? That storefront, now it's foot traffic. And it turns curiosity into connection, right? Because what's the first thing that you do when you start having a conversation with somebody? You guys ever done that? Someone comes into your inbox, right? Says, hey, April. Oh my gosh, I had to come message you. I saw that you're doing the whole RV life thing. I just want to let you know your last post was absolutely made me, and it just made me like crack right up. What's the first thing people do? What's the first thing people do? I get that lot, she says. You go check them out, right? Fiona hit the nail on the head. Bing, bing. Who's this Fiona chick? Right? It goes if you're a spam or a bot or whatever. All right, she's legit, right? She's legit. She posts, she does stuff. Like it's like the what is she up to? Right? Active discovery is what keeps your world expanding, is what it is, right? It's creating conversations, right? You can't build new momentum if you're only watering the same patch of grass every day, right? Everybody's gonna get off here and just go be a creep. All right, just kidding. Number 2, all right, engagement expansion, building relationships in public. All right, this is the part where a lot of people actually skip. They think visibility means only posting content, but in reality, visibility means being visible in other people's spaces too. When you engage on somebody's post, you're not just showing support, you are increasing your exposure, taking the time, going to other people's posts, right? Not everything is about business, right? Like not everything is about business, right? So April should now, like Fiona's message about RV, go see what Fiona's about. What is she posting about? Right? What is she talking about? Again, these are human beings. Remember that. Your comment shows up in front of everyone who engages with that same post as well. And if your comment adds real value, people notice too. They click. They come see who you are, right? If you put an insightful thing on your post, they'll click on your name. Who's this? I didn't know Fiona had a friend named April. Who's this? They click on April. It's an RV thing. I love watching those TikToks. Follow. Okay. It's one of the most underrated ways to grow. Not by creating more, but by connecting better, right? And again, remember what we said about the algorithm. Every genuine engagement you make deepens that connection loop with somebody. When you interact with someone's content, it tells the algorithm they know each other. They like each other. Look, Fiona just liked April's comments. Show her more of April's stuff, right? So you're not just building relationships, you're training the system to also work in your favor. Okay. Engagement is the most important thing to do in your business. I hope you guys, especially if you're new and when you're brand new, what I'm teaching tonight, you guys, it is the thing that you should set the most time aside for inside of the launch strategy. I talk about this. It's day one of the 4 corners of success is engagement. This is it because it's imperative for your business. Engagement expansion means stepping out of your own page and intentionally showing up in other people's worlds, because visibility doesn't just belong to the person who posts, it belongs to the person who connects. Now, lastly, platform presence, becoming the magnet, right? The final layer is where attraction starts to take over. Platform presence is about using your stories, reels, lives, and overall energy to draw people in. Okay? You're no longer just going to find them, they start finding you. It's kind of the goal of everything, isn't it? When you show up consistently, talk with confidence, and lead with value, people start to recognize your name in their feed. They start to remember your face. And that familiarity turns into trust. That's what we mean when we say to you guys, you become the magnet. Because the more consistently you show up, the easier it is for the algorithm to know where to place you. And the easier it is for new people to say, I don't even know her yet. I like her. Hey, I like April's RV content. I don't even know her. I just clicked on it from Fiona's name. I like her. Oh, that's when you know your lead flow is working, right? When you're not chasing, you're attracting. Finding leads isn't about spamming DMs or living in your inbox. Please don't spam DMs, please. Okay? Everybody make Jamie a promise. Pinky swear. Okay? It's about showing up in enough spaces that the right people start showing up for you. Because when you combine discovery, engagement, and presence, your audience stops being random, right? Yeah, same, Janice. And it starts being intentional. You stop waiting for traffic and you start building it. And once you do, your business becomes predictable. Your visibility becomes steady and your confidence really does become unshakable, right? Because confidence comes with experience, and experience only comes with time. And you're only going to get any of that is if you're consistently doing things on a daily basis. That's how important they are. This is why they're the 4 corners of success. They're daily income producing habits. Posting, finding leads. We're on number 2, right? Okay, now let's talk about the part you can't fake. Your energy. I know this is a tough one for a lot of people. I do know that. Because no matter how good your strategy, people can feel what you're leading with. If your energy says, I need a sale, people are going to pull back, right? People are going to pull back. But if your energy says, I'm here to help, they lean in. That's the difference between chasing and attracting. It truly is. People don't follow confidence because it's loud. You don't need to be screaming into the camera like me all the time. That's just who I am. Okay, trust me. I have any voice note sent by me. Right, and this is who I am. Right. They follow it because it feels safe. That's a big difference. When you show up grounded, clear, consistent, you become I can't talk tonight. You know, it's just one of those nights. You become someone other that they like to trust to be around. They trust you is what I'm trying to say. That's attraction. That's leadership. That's posture is what it is, right? Your energy is speaking long before your words ever do. All right. So if you're showing up desperate, uncertain, or inconsistent, people feel it, even through the screen. But when your energy says, I'm good either way, it removes pressure. It's what it does. When your content says, I know where I'm going, it builds curiosity, being so confident in what you're doing, right? And when your presence says, I'm not here to convince, I'm here to serve, people start to believe in what you're doing, even before they fully even understand it. That's the power of attraction. It truly is, right? So let's clear up some misconceptions about attraction marketing, shall we? Some of the biggest ones in the industry. People love to throw around the phrase attraction marketing. I teach attraction marketing. How'd you get all that money? Attraction marketing. They talk about it like it's magic. Like once you post the right story, you have the right vibe, because that's my attraction marketing. Thousands of people are going to suddenly come flooding to you. I don't even know where that started. It's BS is what it is. It's not even attraction marketing. That's wishful thinking, if you ask me, right? Real attraction marketing isn't about sitting back and waiting for everyone to come to you. It's not. It's about earning attention through consistency, connection, and clarity. It's not about being chased. It's about being chosen. And people don't choose you because you're lucky or you're trendy. They choose you because they trust you. That's the difference. They see you show up. They watch you deliver. She shows up every day. They felt your presence enough times that they now associate you with value. I see her, I see Noelle, I see Chris showing up every single day. That's the type of person that I know that can teach me. Him showing up, doing the dang thing. I trust somebody like that. He's real, raw, telling that story over and over and over again. Attraction marketing is simply trust marketing. Let's say it together. Attraction marketing is simply trust marketing. It's a result of doing the right things consistently over time. Posting with purpose. Connecting with intention. Showing up even if nobody's clapping, because you are not an influencer and we don't give a shit what the scoreboard says, because we're building a business. I don't care if nobody's clapping. I'm building this from the ground up. It's not a shortcut. It's strategy built on credibility. So when you hear attraction marketing, don't think, I need people to come to me. Now I've made it. Think, I need to become the person people naturally gravitate to. That light in a dark tunnel. That lighthouse on the end of a coastline, guiding the ships in. Because attraction isn't passive, it's built. You attract when your message is clear, your posture is strong, and your energy says, I know who I am, and I know how I can help. That's why people buy from leaders, not from noise. They're not drawn to perfect feeds. I'm the most imperfect feed that you've ever seen in your entire life. Let's be real right now. I'm the farthest thing from perfect, right? And that's got nothing to do with it, because they're drawn to presence. They're not pulled in by hype. They're pulled in by honesty. We are literally advertised to between 6,000 to 10,000 times every single day without you even freaking knowing it. People are done with it, right? People are absolutely done with it. They want honesty. They're not following you for entertainment. They're following you because something about the way that you show up makes them believe that they can too, right? What happens if you're so freaking insecure that this scares the crap out of it? How would you go about getting over it? I do it every day. Do it every day until it doesn't scare you anymore. I'm not even joking. Do what scares you the most the first thing when you get up in the morning and get it over with. And you do it every single day and you be consistent about it. And all of a sudden you're going to look back, you're like, wow, it's not so scary anymore. Like running a marathon. Like what's a marathon? Like 20K or something like that? Scare the crap out of everybody. But you show up every single day. You put your feet to the ground. Start running 1K. Start running 2. 26 miles. Thank you, Curly. Okay. All of a sudden you're running 10. All of a sudden you just finished a marathon. You look back, you're like, wow, that wasn't so scary. One step at a time. And that's where the consistency comes in. Show up every single day and you get consistent at it. Like, I mean, like, you don't just show up and become an NHL hockey player. What do you do to get there? Practice. You get out there and you do the dang thing. You fall down 5,002 times. But you fall forward. Get back up. Try again. Fall back down again. Get back up. Try it again. And all of a sudden, you're skating 10 feet. Skating 20. All of a sudden, you score your first goal. Like, you don't just wake up in the NHL. It's about consistency, right? It's not luck. It's leadership, I guess, if you want to call it that too. You become magnetic when you're consistent, clear, and confident about who you are. You don't need to show up like somebody that you're not. I hope you don't. Because there's somebody out there that you are the aspirin to their headache. Right? That's waiting for you to show up as your true, authentic self. Confident about who you are, what you do, and why it matters. Because when people can feel your certainty, they start to borrow it until they build their own. That's what leadership really is. That's truly what attraction marketing is. It is trust marketing. Because everything that we just talked about, posture, consistency, trust, isn't just mindset stuff. It's marketing at its highest level. You guys think you're learning some like basic beginner core foundational skills? No, nay. The biggest brands in the world already use this type of marketing every single day. They just do it so naturally that most people don't even notice it. Let's talk about Nike, shall we? Nike doesn't just post. Do you ever see them post their shoe specs? You might be able to Google it on somewhere on their website. Here's what our sole of our shoe is made up in a discount code. No. They post stories, right? They show people pushing their limits, chasing goals, falling, like we just said, getting back up again. You're not buying a shoe. You buy the belief you can do it too. That's attraction marketing. They build a movement so strong that when you see the swoosh, you don't even have to read the caption. You already know what it stands for. Apple. Apple doesn't lead with features. Some of them do, but you know what I mean? We don't know the components inside of an iPhone, right? They lead with identity. From the very beginning, their message has always been think different. They don't tell you what their devices do on the inside and the components. They tell you what kind of person you'll become when you use them. Attraction. Track pulling in the right people. They speak to creativity, simplicity, and belonging, right? They don't chase customers. Customers line up for, well, maybe not the new iPhones, because keep coming out with too many at the same time, because trying to compete with Google, you know, but that's just a whole nother video, isn't it? But they're pre-sales. Customers line up for days, basically, to wait for that pre-sale. Starbucks doesn't sell coffee. They sell ritual. Every color cup, seasonal drink, every detail in their store says, you belong here, right? You go for the caffeine, but you stay because it feels like community. And that's what true attraction marketing builds, not just sales, but connection. Lululemon. Lululemon doesn't flood your feed with ads screaming, buy now. You don't see Lululemon having commission breath. They post people living their lifestyle their brand represents. Movement, right? Confidence. How many times do you guys see women wearing Lululemon? They look so confident. You want to look like that too, right? Because they got discipline. They got balance. The girls are doing all their like yoga things and stuff. They built loyalty not from products, but from identity, is what they did. When you see their content, you can see yourself in it, or you want to see yourself in it. You want to be them. That's why their customers wear that logo so much with pride. They're just dripping in Lulu, right? So let's bring that into the home of LWA, because this is exactly what you're doing when you post your stories, when you go live, when you show the behind the scenes of your growth, even when it's hard, even when you know what you're doing, even though when you're overwhelmed, or Annalisa, like, I'm scared shitless, right? That's okay. It's relatable. How many people are in your position right now? But you know what, Annalie? You're doing it. Yeah, I'm scared shitless right now. I have no idea what I'm doing. I just watched the founder talk her face off for an hour, something about trust marketing, right? I don't know what she's talking about, but I'm going to do it anyways. Because I want to change my life because of XYZ. And I'm going to do it. And I'm going to do it scared shitless, scared, and listening to Jamie scream through a dang screen. Because you know what? One day I will figure it out. It's just, that's what people are attracted to. They're scared too. That's what Annalie's doing. I'm going to do it too. We can be scared together. You're not showing what you're selling, right? You're not listening to the components of the elite. You're going to show who you are becoming. That's what draws people in, right? Yeah, I just started, but looking for 2 weeks from now, I just got a lot more confidence. Just do the dang content, right? When you share your wins, your fails, your whatever, your lessons, those messy middle points, good. Show it messy. It's building trust. It's real. When you lead with value instead of hype, you're building authority. And when you stay consistent long enough to stop being another marketer in a sea of marketers, you start being the person people think of first when they're finally ready. That's attraction marketing in its purest form. Not luck, not algorithms, not fake followers. It's alignment. It's authenticity. It's repetition done with heart. Because at the end of the day, attraction is just proof that you've built a brand people feel safe, trusting. And the longer you show up with that energy, the stronger that pull becomes. Right? So now that you understand what attraction marketing really means, so why does it matter in the first place? Because finding leads isn't about getting more eyeballs on your content. It's about keeping your business alive. Consistent and predictable. When you post, that's the first corner, that visibility. That's you opening the doors to your business every single morning when you post, like putting a little open sign. But when you find leads, that's the traffic. That's how you bring people through the door. Posting without finding leads is like throwing a grand old party with no invitations. No one knows you're there. The purpose behind finding leads is connection at the end of the day. It's not just about building your audience, it's about building your relationships. Every conversation you start, every comment you lead, every new person you add into your circle, it's all a seed planted for future sales, collaborations, and a community that you're building. These 4 corners that we're going to be working on, that we're diving so deep into, they're not meant to stand alone. And I truly want you guys to understand this. That's why I'm doing, like, they're inside of the launch strategy. But that's why I wanted to go so in depth for everybody, especially because we have so many new people. But the four corners of success are meant to work together. Your posting creates trust and curiosity. Your lead fuels the visibility. Conversations and follow-ups, which we're going to be doing in the next ones, turns that curiosity into connection. And your follow-up turns that connection into conversion. If one of those corners goes missing, everything starts to wobble. It's like having a three-legged table. That's why most people get stuck. They're consistent in one corner and forget the rest, or they're consistent in three, forget the rest, and everything falls. When you're actively finding new leads every week, and you're not just adding names to a list, you're keeping your pipeline full, your content visible, and your community growing. You can't scale silence. You can only scale connection. That's why we call the second corner the bridge between visible and being valuable. When you find leads with intention, you're no longer shouting into a void. You're speaking to people who are already listening to you. You're not begging for attention anymore. You're building alignment. And when you do that consistently, you never run out of people to talk to. Because every conversation you start becomes another door to opportunity. That's the purpose behind finding leads, not numbers, not a profile picture, not hype, not luck. It's longevity, security, it's freedom. Because when you have people coming into your world every single day, your business stops depending on a chance and it starts depending on you. So if there's one thing that I want you to take away from today, it's this. Finding leads is not a task that you check off your list. I'm going to say that again. Finding leads is not some task that you check off on a list every single day. It needs to be a rhythm that you live by. The same that way that you brush your teeth and call it hygiene. You don't find leads once and call it a business. It's daily. Imagine if you only brushed your teeth once a year, right? It's intentional. It's what keeps your business breathing. Because here's the truth. You don't have a visibility problem. You have an attention problem. And attention isn't earned through connection. Attention is earned through connection, not luck. When you build relationships, you build momentum. When you have conversations, you have control. And when you stay consistent with both, your business stops relying on algorithms. And you stop talking about it too. And they start relying on you. That's the power of this corner. It gives you stability, is what it does. You never run out of people to talk to. That door keeps moving, right? You'll never panic when sales slow down because you know exactly what to do to spark momentum again. I just gave you the key that unlocks it all. So if you're sitting here wondering, where do I even start? The answer is simple. Connection. Then another one. And another one. Because every message you send, every comment you leave, every new face you engage with, it all compounds. It all stacks. And before you know it, you build a community that trusts you, listens to you, and buys from you. So let's make that shift today, shall we? From hoping for traffic to creating it. From waiting for opportunities to building them. From posting to people to actually connecting with them. Because you don't find success by chasing numbers. You find success by building relationships that remember you. So why don't we do another weekly challenge here? This is what I want everybody to do. For the next 5 days, I want you to do 3 simple things every single day. Nothing complicated, just consistent. I want you to add 5 new people to your world. Maybe so you're going to search a hashtag, scroll a comment, join a conversation. Don't just follow, connect. Okay? 5 new people. And then I want you to engage with 5 old connections. Go back to the people maybe you've already talked to, or maybe you haven't talked to in a while. Maybe comment on their post. reply to a story, or just check in genuinely. Remember, we're humans. And then I want you to start 3 real conversations. Nothing about business, just about life. Ask a question. Respond to a post. Compliment something new you've noticed. That's it. 5 new, 5 nurtured, 3 connected. Every day for 5 days, though. Okay? By the end of this week, you're gonna have built 25 brand new connections, 25 rekindled connections, 15 meaningful conversations already in motion. That's 65 opportunities you created through consistency. Pretty crazy, isn't it? 65 opportunities. And the compound effect of that week after week is what builds an unstoppable business. So this week, stop waiting for leads to find you. Go find them. 5 new, 5 nurtured, and 3 conversations. Serve them. Go find them, serve them, and show them what's possible. Because the ones who win in this business are not lucky, okay? They're not lucky. It's what they did when people weren't watching, when the spotlight wasn't on them. Because they were the ones over in the dark, by themselves, decided to build their own momentum. While you're over their scoreboard watching, looking for likes, followers, and views, they were over there in the dark, in the shadows, building their own momentum by little things, just like we just said, right? 5 new people, 5 old connections, 3 real conversations, 65 new opportunities a week. That's what they've been doing. It's that easy. It's not hard. It's actually easy. That's 65 new opportunities. And that's what this second corner in the 4 corners of success is all